Disney surprised everyone by giving us the literal first look at Walt Disney Animation Florida, the once active animation studio that operated at Disney's Hollywood Studios theme park. And I think we should talk about it. I'm Justin, the Disney World Dad. If you like Disney history, tips, guides, and more, go ahead and hit subscribe. So, brief history. Walt Disney Feature Animation Florida, a division of Walt Disney Feature Animation, was a fully functioning animation studio that operated between 1989 and 2004, actually on the grounds of Disney's Hollywood Studios theme park. Fan favorite late Disney Renaissance animated films like Mulan, Lilo and Stitch, and Brother Bear were entirely produced at this studio. And fun fact, the feature animation division located in Florida contributed to several pivotal scenes in other Disney films, including the I Just Can't Wait to Be King sequence in The Lion King, animation of Belle from the Be Our Guest scene, and also animation of Jasmine from Aladdin, in addition to several other notable scenes. When the theme park opened in 1989, there was a feature animation pavilion offering a tour and experiences geared towards learning all about the legacy of Disney animation, and it included a short film that was a live-action animation hybrid featuring the legendary Robin Williams. Later, in 1998, on the same day that Animal Kingdom opened, Roy E. Disney and Michael Eisner were on hand to expand the Magic of Disney animation attraction, which this time gave fans an actual look at the animators at work on films in a production environment in the expanded 4-story building that we're talking about today. This attraction was, interestingly, replaced with Star Wars Launch Bay, which is now there in Animation Courtyard, which I have a lot of opinions about that I guess I'm going to have to voice in a separate video. Anyway, the main point, we now know so much about the feature animation building, and we have pictures of spaces that were previously only accessible to cast members. Here are some of the highlights. On opening day in April of 1998, during the event presentation, a blustery wind nearly interrupted the happenings, harkening back to an overcast day of the opening of the 1960 Winter Olympic Games, which Walt had helped produce and orchestrate. During his speech, when Roy O. Disney was describing how the sky eventually cleared back in 1960 for the ceremonies to go on for the Olympics, the Florida skies apparently did the same, as if on cue. Coincidence? Maybe, but a cool Disney fact nonetheless. The 4 stories of the buildings are each themed to one of the 4 animated films produced or assisted by the Florida division. Meeting rooms are named for classic characters, and murals display animation methods, among other things that I'll get into. The first floor is themed to Brother Bear, the second Mulan, the third Lilo and Stitch, and the fourth The Lion King. Perhaps because Lilo and Stitch, the live-action interpretation, is in theaters right now, we learned a lot about the animated original, like how Chris Sanders, one of the co-directors of the film, also voiced Stitch, while co-director Dean DeBlois helped shape the now classic emotional story between Lilo and Stitch. Fun fact, both directors of Lilo and Stitch also co-directed and co-wrote the How to Train Your Dragon series, of which the live-action is also in theaters right now. So a lot of cool work from these two sort of coming back to the surface and sort of being reimagined right now. Anyway, one thing I think that's really cool that we learned is that the intent of the film was to be placed in a remote setting. And originally that was Kansas, of course. And after Sanders went on a trip to Hawaii, he was so taken with the islands, and when looking over a map and over his trip, he realized what could be more remote than Hawaii, and thus sort of a character in itself. The setting, Hawaii, was born in that moment and became now sort of intertwined with how we think about Lilo and Stitch. Ride vehicles and Disney curios dot the building. For example, Sneezy, one of the log-shaped rides from the Snow White Scary Adventures attraction, can be found upon entry, and so can Winky, a blue car from the now-defunct Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. There's also a screening room where animators previewed films that they worked on in that very place. And let me tell you, the film nerd in me, just seeing the pictures of that, I would love to go and check out that screening room and preferably see a Disney film in that screening room. That would be awesome. Displays in the main hallway show over 50 prints and sketches from animated films like Meet the Robinsons, Alice in Wonderland, Hercules, and several others. For my fellow architecture buffs, there is a large atrium that blends 90s architecture and retro Art Deco designs that remain nearly intact from when the building was constructed, save for some cosmetic changes. It definitely reminds me of the ABC commissary, also at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Anyway, there are large windows, balconies, stairs, walkways, huge gathering areas, full with lots of sunlight that I think are perfect probably for collaboration and, of course, the occasional lunch. Save for the Dumbo ride vehicle mid-flight that is also in the atrium, this sort of reminds me of the staircases at Hogwarts, and it makes me want to visit this place even more. The walls of every hallway and staircase are lined with animation, character studies, original sketches, even color studies, including for the particular scene of I'll Make a Man Out of You from Mulan. There are even artifacts that inspired the creators themselves, including the vinyl of Elvis' soundtrack to the classic Blue Hawaii film. A large animation desk, still fully lit, and frost glass of an office area remind you of a space not only where animators used to create now classic films, but a space where guests could explore this now defunct attraction. Other lesser known displays include a wall of specialty paints used by animators with unique colors like Disney Bengal Rose, Burnt Sienna, and Disney Cobalt Green. These sit frozen in time, a relic of the days when hand-drawn animation was sort of the epicenter for Disney features. And finally, in a space where the mailroom used to be, signatures from Disney legends can be seen, including Clark Spencer, who produced Lilo and Stitch, the aforementioned Chris Sanders, and also Roy E. Disney. All right, I am excited and honestly inspired by getting a glimpse into a place where creators did so much, now iconic work. I wish the animations experience was still offered, as I was unable to attend Disney World when this was available for guests. Did you get to visit during that time? What are your memories and thoughts around the experience? I want to hear everything from you, so please let me know about that. And what do you think about Disney suddenly at this time giving us a first look at this space that was previously only seen by cast members? Is this a sign of something to come, or just sort of synergistic with the live action Lilo and Stitch that is now in theaters? Anyway, thanks for nerding out with me in this video. If you like this, please consider subscribing, and as always, see you real soon.